Okay, so if you've ever felt uh, that knot in your stomach when money comes up, especially, if you're dealing with student loans, if the
Yeah.
job market feels shaky, or just everything costing more, let me just say you are definitely not alone. That feeling, being overwhelmed by finance, it's really common.
Oh, absolutely. So many younger adults today are facing, well, unique economic pressures, stuff previous generations didn't really grapple with in the same way. And often there's just no clear, easy to follow roadmap for managing it all.
Exactly. And that's precisely why today we're doing a deep dive into Erin Lowry's book, Broke Millennial, A Guide to Financial Freedom. It's just so practical and honestly relatable. Our mission here for you listening is to pull out the most important bits of wisdom, the actionable stuff from this guide. Think of it like a shortcut, maybe, to understanding how to get a handle on your financial future, and importantly, without feeling buried in confusing terms, or maybe worse, feeling that sense of shame about money.
Yeah, and what makes Lowry's approach work so well, I think, is her mission. She calls herself a money translator.
Mm,
Her whole goal is taking these kind of scary financial ideas and just breaking them down for anyone who feels, well, broke,
Yeah.
helping them get confident, manage their money, and build some real security. And her tone is great, funny, direct, super practical.
She really nails, too, the specific challenges for millennials, Gen Z. Like you mentioned, that huge student loan debt issue, the sometimes unstable job market, costs going up and up, and even those like social pressures, feeling like you have to spend a certain way. She tackles all that directly. So where does she start people off on this journey? Right at the beginning. Lowry pushes you to, first, get real about money, and second, know where you stand. It's really about facing your financial reality, even if it feels a bit uncomfortable at first.
And a huge part of that is understanding why you think about money the way you do. Her first chapter is all about money mindset. She really unpacks how your background, like, did you grow up with plenty or was it tight? How that shapes your habits and beliefs about money today. The main idea is you got to consciously reset that mindset to take control. Become aware of those default settings and, choose new ones.
Right. And once you start that mindset work, she gets straight into the practical stuff, chapter 2.
Budgeting basics.
Now, okay, budgeting. For a lot of people, that word just means restriction, right? Doing without. But Lowry completely flips that. She frames budgeting not as limiting, but as a way to get freedom.
Exactly, freedom.
Yeah, and she gives you flexible strategies. Makes it clear it's not one size fits all. It's about finding a plan that works for you.
Mm-hmm. And building on that, once you kind of get your mindset shifting and see where your money's going, the next big step she talks about is confront debt. This is where a lot of the weight often is for people.
Yeah, definitely. And she gets really practical in chapter 3, dealing with debt. She lays out 2 main ways to tackle it systematically. First is the snowball method. That's where you focus on paying off the smallest debts first.
right.
The clever part there isn't just math, it's psychology. You get these small wins, knock out a debt, and it keeps you motivated.
Get the momentum, yeah.
Then there's the avalanche method. That's where you target the debts with the highest interest rates first. That
Yeah.
saves you the most money over time.
Mathematically better, usually.
Right. But her key point is pick the one that actually keeps you going. Consistency is the real winner.
Such a good point. What works for you? And speaking of debt, she dives right into student loans in chapter 4, which is just massive for so many people and often really psychologically draining.
Okay.
She breaks down repayment options, talks about refinancing, and she really acknowledges the stress that comes with these loans. It's not just numbers.
Absolutely. It's the mental load, too. And then chapter 5 moves on to credit cards and credit scores. She doesn't just say avoid credit cards. She explains how to use them responsibly, how to spot predatory lending, and, crucially, how your credit score impacts almost everything major. Renting, getting a car loan, sometimes even getting a job, surprisingly.
It's effort.
Understanding that score, that's real power. Okay, so you've gotten real, you're tackling debt strategically. What's next? Lowry shifts focus to building for the future. 2 more core ideas. Start saving early and invest in yourself and your future.
Yeah, and she makes starting feel really doable in chapter 6, saving and building an emergency fund. She basically says, just start, even if it's tiny amounts. She lays out a path. Start with what she calls a slush fund, maybe $500, for those small, unexpected things, flat tire, copay, whatever. Then, from there, you build towards a proper emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of living expenses. It's about building the habit step by step.
I like that slush fund idea. Less intimidating. And then investing. The topic that sometimes makes people's eyes glaze over, right?
Yeah.
But chapter 7, investing made simple. She really does demystify it. She explains things like a 401k that's usually through your job.
Right, employer sponsored.
an IRA that's a personal one you set up yourself, and a Roth IRA, which has tax advantages later on. She breaks it down in really plain English. It's surprisingly clear.
It really is.
And the biggest message she pushes is starting early, even small amounts, because of compounding.
Oh, the magic of compounding.
Seriously, like starting with just $50 a month in your 20s versus your 30s, it can mean hundreds of thousands more by retirement. Those first dollars you invest are incredibly powerful.
And pulling back a bit, thinking about the bigger picture, financial well-being isn't just about the numbers in your account, right? It's tied up with your relationships, your long-term goals.
Yeah.
Which leads to her next principle, talk about money and the overall aim of financial independence and long-term goals.
That's such a critical piece. Chapter 8, Relationships and Money. It tackles those sometimes awkward but totally necessary money conversations with partners, friends, even parents sometimes.
Definitely awkward sometimes.
Right. But she gives real examples, how to split bills fairly, manage dating costs without going broke, setting financial goals together if you're in a couple. These talks are foundational for healthy relationships and healthy finances.
And that ties into a really personal question she poses. What does financial success actually mean to you? In Chapter 9, Financial Independence and Long-Term Goals, she encourages you to define it yourself.
Yeah, like, is it just being debt-free? Is it feeling secure? Is it building serious wealth? What's your goal?
Exactly. Once you figure that out, your personal definition, then you can build a roadmap towards it. Tailor the journey to your aspirations, not someone else's.
So, after going through all of this deep dive, what's a big takeaway for you listening?
I think Lowry's final message is really empowering. It's that, yes, millennials, younger generations, you can overcome these financial hurdles with clarity, planning, and just sticking with it.
Yeah, it really boils down to those small, consistent actions. Saving a bit each paycheck, making those debt payments regularly, starting to invest even tiny amounts.
Yeah.
Those are the building blocks. It's not about one giant leap. It's the steady progress.
And maybe the most liberating thing from the whole book is her completely shame-free approach.
Oh, totally.
She stresses, you're not alone if you're struggling with money. So many people are. What matters isn't the past or mistakes made. What matters is deciding to take control now.
Right. And ultimately, financial freedom, the way she talks about it, it's not necessarily about being rich. It's more about living life on your own terms, without that constant underlying money stress.
Yeah.
It's about having options, having choices, and that's incredibly powerful. So thinking about all these small actions, the mindset shifts we've talked about today, here's something to reflect on. What's one immediate step, maybe just one small thing you can take right now to start defining or maybe redesigning your own path to financial freedom?